By the looks of it, the coronavirus is on its way down, which means we can start talking about things from a cultural point of view on what is happening and why it was happening. The first thing I wanted to talk about was how much we didn't know, and it became really obvious whenever anybody was arguing. They'd say, hey look, my expert says this, or hey look, my expert says that, and they would just look at the experts and say, these men know what they're talking about, and we should trust them. The response has usually been, these experts are experts. They know what they're doing. So obviously, if we are watching this, we should know that these men have a good idea of what they're doing, why they're doing it, and why each item that they're doing has a legitimate response with knowledge from expertise on the virus as it comes.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
Meanwhile, others are saying the experts don't know what they're talking about and are trying to stop them from talking about other ideas and suggestions.
Fools. Bureaucratic fools.
What'd they say?
They don't know what they've got there.
The reality is, we have the same amount of information as any expert, and most of the experts don't know what they're talking about, simply because the virus is so new, there's nothing to compare it to. Therefore, the best methods are by people who know Excel really well and make it look like art. It also means a lot of trial and error. We don't know what's going to work, so we're going to try to use what we have, see what happens, and whether or not it works correctly. If it doesn't, that's okay. That's all part of the process. The process itself is fail, learn from it, move on.
Bubble has a glory.
Each abysmal failure makes a point.
Every glowing path that goes astray shows you how to find a better way. So every time you stumble, never grumble.
Next time you bumble even less.
For up from the ashes, up from the ashes, grow the roses of success.
A lot of people see the success of others, or the experts who know what they're doing, and think, well, these guys obviously should be trusted and they've never failed, not once. The reality is, science leads to disaster. It doesn't work. We continue to fail and learn from our failures until we've become so good at it that we can just travel through space without realizing it, heal all illnesses without trying, create whatever foods or whatever item we want, and create luxury in ways that we can't even imagine today. That sounds great and all, but you don't want to be the one that dies, do you? Nor do you want your grandparents or anyone else. Which is why when the president says,
maybe and maybe not. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. We have to see. It may work and it may not work. And I agree with the doctor, what he said. May work, may not work.
Doesn't engender a lot of respect. However, we are moving forward and we are starting to make progress. Because of that, I want to discuss things from an intercultural point of view. Why people were fighting, what they were fighting over, and what it meant. It will likely end up in history books, and we need to start exploring these ideas as they're happening. And I waited long enough. It's time to discuss. Also, don't worry. We're going to discuss video games just as much.